Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Rambo. An honor to give this award to a man without whom many of my recent films would have never been what they are. The incredible Kambakkht Ishq.
One of the most unbelievable things that I've done in my entire life, I'm about to speak to a living legend. I'm talking about the man himself, Sylvester Stallone. Hello, sir.
Thank you.
I am sitting at the historic Kodak Theater in Los Angeles, California.
Welcome to Hollywood, baby. Hollywood. Welcome to Hollywood, baby. Hollywood.
East meets West. This is the first time the two woods are coming together, Hollywood and Bollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood, baby. Hollywood. Welcome to Hollywood, baby. Hollywood.
What attracted you towards Bollywood, sir?
Well, the fact that it hasn't been done really in a way that, at least during my career, so to me, I feel as though we're bridging a gap between two cultural and artistic centers. So it's nice to be invited into your worlds.
Kambakkht Ishq, the film which you've agreed to do, is one of the biggest Bollywood productions to be made. And it obviously has Akshay, it has you. What attracted you to the script?
Well, of course, the star, the producer.
Sajid, Nadiadwala, who's a very talented producer.
And the idea that it deals with a subject that I like, which is about heart.
Yeah.
It's about giving, it's spirituality, it's about physical manifestation of love. Because in the end, that's really all that counts. There's been many action films where people are just beating each other up and you go, who cares? But when it really is about something soulful, I'm interested, and that's what this film is about.
I just want to tell you one more thing, sir. The producer of this film, Sajid Nadiadwala,
Right.
he started bodybuilding because of you. He exercises every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got his huge gym in his house, which is like an apartment. The whole gym is an apartment, which has your posters everywhere. And he said, I just don't want to put up his posters now. He's also put up your contract in the gym. He said, how many people get to put up Sylvester Stallone's contract? And he exercises every day. And he's
That's a first. That's a first.
So your interaction with him, how's it been?
It's been fantastic. You know, we came over and we met at the office, and he's just really charming. It's different. You know, the way business is done in Hollywood and in Bollywood. I think over here it's a little more difficult, and there's a lot of games over here. He just came and, you know, said what he wanted, and we agreed to it, and we shook hands, and I felt that, you know, there's a real respect between us, and it was great.
You've done so many unbelievable action films all your life, and some of them with a lot of heart. Akshay, when he does films, he also does his own action scenes. How many bones have you broken?
There's been a lot.
How much money have you guys contributed to hospitals?
Actually, I was very happy because my wife's sister married a doctor who's a bone specialist, and I use him all the time. You know, it's changed so much. I think before they had CGI, you just had to go out and do it. And I have a lot of respect for the Jackie Chans of the world and the people that really had to go out and do it, and like, he understands. And as you get older, you look back on your films and you can't believe you were that crazy to do things like that.
Which was the one stunt which you thought, okay, I'm gone, I'm dead?
Well, there was two that really bothered me. One was in Rambo 3, and it was where I'm trying to get into a fort to rescue Colonel Troutman, and there's a tank coming towards me, and I have to run in front of the tank and lay down. And as I'm hanging onto the tank, this tank is kicking up rocks, and I could feel them shooting across. I said, if one of these rocks hit me, I'm dead. And the other one was, cliffhanger really bothered me, just hanging there, because I hate heights. But it's odd. I guess a lot of people maybe won't remember, but in Demolition Man, when they freeze me, they had to put me into a container and close the lid.
Gel on you.
Well, that lid was about 400 pounds of lucite, and they didn't have a lock that could open it. They had to open it by hand. So when they locked it and filled it up with fluid, if by accident they couldn't get it open, they couldn't save you. In other words, even an axe couldn't get through that. It's almost bulletproof glass. I said, if they put in too much fluid, I'm going to drown. There's there's nothing going to save you. So that was a bad one.
Akshay, yours?
Few years back, it was the stunt which I did. Had to stand on the top of a plane, a moving plane which was about 1,000 feet in the air, and then the plane is doing somersault, and I'm holding on to it.
You stood on top of a plane?
On top of a plane, not inside the plane, on top of a plane. That's the stupidest thing I could ever do.
There's so many accidents that happen that if you think back, just close calls, that there's dangerous stunts, but cars that come within this close of you, helicopters. I remember Rambo 3, I'm riding on the horse and I looked up and the helicopter was that close, and I couldn't believe it. I said, this, because you're not aware of it when you're doing it, but when you see the playback, they're this close, and one little incident, one little slip, and your head is gone.
I'm telling you, something does protect us.
Yeah.
There's something there. Whenever he's right, I mean, when you see our movies, we see something was protecting us. I don't know. That's obviously God. How we have no idea how this happened, how we could do it. It's something which is
Like
impossible.
a divine force. And that divine force, ladies and gentlemen, in Hollywood and Bollywood is known as the executive producer praying. So when you direct and when you act, who takes the back seat, the actor or the director?
Without a doubt, the actor takes the back seat. You have to. We were speaking earlier on. If I'm going to direct, I have to learn. I have to be very mechanical. I have to learn all my lines. I have to learn everyone else's lines. You have to learn all the shots. So when you get there, there's no time for you to have an ego. There's no time for you to sit in your motorhome and relax. You have to be the one that's there all the time. So I would say, without a doubt, the director's job, in my brain, takes a lot of responsibility and precedent over the actor, for sure.
So guys, I'm not going to direct because I can't remember my lines, so I'm not going to.
That's because he's also a very accomplished screenplay writer.
Yeah.
No. I direct because I think that sometimes most of the really good directors have their own projects and they're in love with them. So do you go out and hire a so-so director, or you say, you know what, maybe I'll just try it myself and see. But you're not going to see your family for a while. You're not going to.
Sure, the whole year must be going away. If you
Yes.
direct a film, I mean,
Yes.
that you have to do all the work throughout.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you're producing it, that's another.
It is. I mean, it plays. It's very difficult on the family. I mean, you're gone. You're literally in another world for 6 months, 8 months, a year. So I wouldn't recommend it to everybody.
Om Mangalam Mangalam. Om Mangalam Mangalam. Om Mangalam Mangalam.
Action. So you've also ventured out into areas which people thought you really wouldn't venture out into. For example, you directed Staying Alive, 1983, which if I may say so, was better than a Bob Fosse film.
Oh God.
It was a superb sequence.
Well, you know, but I didn't know what I was doing. 2 days into directing, I said, "What am I doing in here?"
And you made John.
I don't know
Travolta
what dancing.
give
I
him
don't know
muscles.
anything about dance. I don't dance, and here it is Broadway. I said, "What am I?" This studio talked me into something. I said, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" It's his third day, and already I'm panicking. So I appreciate it, but now there's a film that I really had no emotional connection to. But eventually by the end of the movie, I tried to give, John Travolta some heart and
And a lot of muscle.
He got
gave
amazing.
muscle.
It was unbelievable conditioning. I mean, it's amazing what he did. He was living on fish and water for about 6 months. When he first came to my house, he was about 100 kilos, maybe more. And I had my wife make a chocolate cake. And I just wanted to see something. By the end of the meeting, he'd eaten the whole cake. So I realized he doesn't even think about, he just loves to eat. I said, "John, that's okay, no problem. But for this, we're gonna have a man live with you 24 hours a day. You're gonna have a dance floor at your house, so you don't have to travel. You're gonna be like in the army." And to his credit, he lost close to 60 pounds. No, yeah, the 50 pounds, and it was amazing. It was amazing transformation what he did.
In how much time?
He probably did that about 4.5 months, and so he was built better than the dancers. It was amazing. Yeah. And then after the movie, he said, "I'm going back to what I enjoy most, food." Yeah. So
Okay, staying fit. Here we have two different schools of staying fit. A man who, I don't think a single gym in the world starts the day without the song "Eye of the Tiger" playing, which is a fact. Barbells and dumbbells and, the hard workout. And here's one man, Akshay, who doesn't believe in lifting weights and still remains fit. I mean, what's the secret, sir?
Well, it's again, it's a different generation. What he does didn't exist when I started out. I started out in the beginning, was around with Arnold, that era. So we were, at that time, that was cutting edge. Now it's kind of old fashioned, and they're coming up with different ways of training the body, which I agree with, because weights will take a terrible toll
So
on
how
your
have
body.
you managed to remain so fit over the years?
Basically, it is just being egotistical. That's all. Being very conceited, not wanting to fall apart. Say, it's so easy to just like, okay, I did what I had to do, and now I'm going to put on 100 pounds. But I'm trying to prove something. I just want to see how long you can maintain it. And so what I do, I just watch what I eat, and then I'll go off for a month and just eat everything, and then go back and train it again. So I go off and on, off and on. But I just want to see how long the body can stay in shape.
You have to keep on giving shocks to your body so that it doesn't get used to only at one thing.
I just want to ask both you gentlemen one simple question. Have you guys ever been in a fist fight for real?
Oh, yeah.
You have. Many times.
Yeah. Coming up, you just do. I mean, as an adult, you try to avoid that, but as a kid, it's hard, especially with a name like Sylvester. As soon as you come into a school, what is your name? Mark, John, what's your name? Sylvester? Wow. So, but they weren't terrible. They're not like legendary fights, but yeah, it happened.
Any incident that you recall?
To be honest, no. Not much.
See, he's a diplomat. It's very smart.
I remember an incident. Akshay, if I may add, I remember an incident, sir, way before he became an actor, way back 20 years ago. He was this thin, gawky boy with long hair and a thin pencil
I just
mustache.
recently come from Thailand.
He had just come
learning
from
my
Thailand. He was
martial
my
art,
friend
Thai
then.
boxing,
And there was this very happening nightclub in Bombay where there was this 6.5-footer, huge Bollywood actor who was known for his muscles. And he got into some kind of a scrap, and all of us rounded to see him getting beaten. And in 3 shots, he had that guy on the floor.
I thought you said you didn't fight.
That was long back now. So.
Very good.
Action!
Thank you so much, sir. And
pleasure.
we welcome you to India.
Well, I hope so too, and I can't wait to visit your country soon.
Om Mangalam Mangalam. Om Mangalam Mangalam.
क्या प्यार किया कमबख्त इश्क में तो हार गया कमबख्त इश्क मुझे मार गया कमबख्त इश्क हाय रब्बा ये क्या हो गया
The stuntman of the year meets the supermodel of the year.
Falling down. Falling down.
The perfect love story. But
What do you know about stuntmen, huh?
Second-hand people with second-hand lives.
We have the balls, we are fearless.
4 English के words जो सीख लिए. Uneducated, filthy lout.
and they fought happily ever after.
Women are only good for one thing.
ये लव शब्द कुछ नहीं होता. सब लड़कों को एक ही चीज में इंटरेस्ट होता है.
तुम्हें मर्दों से क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
मुझे तुमसे प्रॉब्लम
पर
है.
अभी तक तुम्हारे साथ मैंने ऐसा कुछ किया भी नहीं है.
और कुछ करोगे भी नहीं.
और तुम्हारी इतनी अच्छी किस्मत भी नहीं है. हाथ तो लगा के दिखाओ तुम मुझे. मेरे सारे लॉयर्स तुमको हाथ लगाएंगे सब जगह.
क्या प्यार किया कमबख्त इश्क में तो हार गया कमबख्त इश्क मुझे मार गया कमबख्त इश्क हाय रब्बा ये क्या हो गया क्या प्यार किया कमबख्त इश्क में तो हार गया कमबख्त इश्क मुझे मार गया कमबख्त इश्क हाय रब्बा ये क्या हो गया क्या प्यार किया कमबख्त इश्क में तो हार गया कमबख्त इश्क मुझे मार गया कमबख्त इश्क हाय रब्बा ये क्या हो गया क्या प्यार किया कमबख्त इश्क में तो हार गया कमबख्त इश्क मुझे मार गया कमबख्त इश्क हाय रब्बा ये क्या हो गया
Kambakkht Ishq.
To watch more, log on to www.erosentertainment.com.